intelligence was the key to wealth, then every PhD would be flying private, and Mark Cuban would be personally delivering your DoorDash order. In reality, some of the smartest people are struggling to get by, while morons have never been richer. Our economy doesn't reward intelligence, it rewards those who know how to play the game.
Getting rich is easy. I mean, any fool can get rich, and any number of fools do.
It doesn't take a genius to notice that smart people usually out-earn dumb people. A corporate lawyer will obviously out-earn your local glue sniffer who struggles to keep a job at McDonald's. However, those at the highest percentiles of wealth aren't exactly what society would typically define as the smartest people. Scientists, engineers, and professors will never make anywhere close to the top athletes, celebrities, influencers, or 16-year-old dropshippers. Is life unfair? Yes, but it's also not that simple. The highest paid doctors in the US make around $1 to $2 million a year, and that's after years of brutal education, medical school debt, and a complete lack of work-life balance. Meanwhile, Ronaldo earned a whopping $260 million in 2024. That's more in 1 year than a top surgeon would make in 10 lifetimes. Even actors, whose job is literally pretending, can make a ridiculous fortune. Vin Diesel has made tens of millions for playing a tree that can only say 3 words.
I am Groot.
Imagine explaining that to a brain surgeon who spent a decade in medical school. You can argue about who's smarter between a brain surgeon and these guys, but that's not really the point. The real question is, does intelligence even matter when it comes to making absurd amounts of money? Well, there isn't really a concrete way to measure just how smart someone is. Even the founder of the IQ test said it shouldn't be used to test intelligence. It's far too broad of a concept to quantify with one number. Education level can be a good predictor of future earnings, but true intelligence is about applying your knowledge and skills, not just having degrees. Regardless of how you want to determine intelligence, the richest people are objectively not all brilliant, but they do share one key trait: they scale. A doctor may be able to charge $25,000 for a surgery, but he can only do one surgery at a time. His income is capped by how many surgeries he can physically perform. Although Ronaldo can only play one game at a time, and Vin Diesel can only film the 10th Fast and Furious sequel after he finishes the 9th, they have millions of people that pay to watch them. Most professions in comparison, even those occupied by brilliant people, are restricted to one patient, one client, or one deal at a time. The richest people don't trade time for money. They leverage other people and systems to scale infinitely. Jeff Bezos doesn't pack your Amazon orders, Taylor Swift doesn't sing to one person at a time, and Elon Musk doesn't personally assemble Teslas. The ability to reach multiple people at once is what separates top earners from your average highly intelligent professional who works one-on-one. And of course, you can't scale alone. To do so, you have to leverage the labor of others. Not to sound like a communist, but if you have a salary or an hourly wage, your labor is being exploited to profit someone else. They earn more from your work than it costs to pay you.
I own you. You're my bitch.
Becoming absurdly rich isn't about how hard you work or how smart you are. It's about how many people you can sell to while using leverage, whether it's other people's labor or their money, to drastically increase your own earnings. Thankfully, most intelligent people don't focus on scaling endlessly or building a personal brand to appeal to the masses. Instead, they're doing intellectually demanding work that, although incredibly valuable to society, just doesn't scale the same way. Our economic system doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards marketability, influence, and risk-taking. Just look at the Kardashians. They turned a leaked video into a multi-billion-dollar empire. It's not exactly rocket science, but in terms of marketing, arguably pretty genius. While fame and influence are tried and true methods to becoming rich, there are lots of other ways of doing so, but all include some degree of risk. Yet since childhood, we've all been told that being smart means avoiding unnecessary risks.
Be safe.
But as we grow up, we realize that playing it safe isn't so smart either. Many of the brightest people are afraid to take big risks. They get good grades, go to elite universities, land stable jobs, and slowly climb the corporate ladder until retirement. That's a great way to make a good income, but that's not how you get rich. Do you know who doesn't play it safe? Dumb people. They take wild risks because, well, They either don't know any better, or they have nothing to lose. Like that kid from high school who flunked the 10th grade twice and now drives a Lambo because he went all in on Bitcoin back in 2012. At the time, it was objectively a dumb idea, but it worked out. Survivorship bias is everywhere, and it makes these people seem like geniuses, but only because they were successful. What we don't see are the other 99% who failed miserably. When one person makes a risky bet that pays off, we call them a genius. When another person makes a similar bet and loses, we call them a moron. Using dollar figures as a key metric to determine success has completely skewed our perception of the value of an accomplishment. For every success story, there are thousands who lost their life savings on some of the stupidest ideas imaginable.
I present to you horse pants.
Self-made multi-millionaires and billionaires share many common traits, but intelligence isn't always one of those things. They are all entrepreneurs in some way. They either built their own businesses or secured major equity in another. They've had to bet everything on themselves or on other people, but let's not forget that most of them also got really lucky too. Mark Cuban's fragile billionaire ego is parodied endlessly in the TV show Silicon Valley for a reason. He's not particularly smart, but he thinks he is because he's rich.
Yeah, I'm in the 3 Comma Club. You know, you play your cards right, you could be in the 3 Comma Club too, but probably not. But you could be, but probably not.
Mark's wealth came from selling an internet radio company for $5.7 billion at the literal peak of the dot-com bubble when companies were being bought for absurd valuations. Had he tried to sell it a year later, it would have been worthless.
ROI. ROI. You know what that stands for?
Return on
investment.
Nope. Radio on internet. Did you put radio on the internet?
No.
Mark isn't smarter than you. He merely took a massive bet that paid off handsomely when luck presented itself. That's the dirty secret of extreme wealth. Whether it's nepotism or a fluke opportunity, the biggest success stories almost always involve a ridiculous amount of luck. Bill Gates is a genius, but few people know that in 1968, he attended one of the only high schools in the world with a computer. If he had gone anywhere else, Microsoft might not exist. Same with Will Smith. He became an actor because he happened to be at a party with legendary producer Quincy Jones, who made him audition for the show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on the spot. If he hadn't gone to that party, no show, no movie career, no Oscar slap.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Even he admits that success like his can only happen with luck.
We all know you don't get successful just by having a good idea or working hard. You get successful by being lucky too.
Successful people are all able to capitalize when the right moment happens, and many highly accomplished people have a skill set that can increase their chances significantly. Although you do have to be smart enough to play the right cards when the opportunity arises, there's only so much you can do with the hand that you were given. The reality is, thousands of people with equal talent and intelligence never got the right break. And in a world where luck can matter more than intelligence, plenty of less intelligent people will keep winning. We don't all start at the same place either. Being born rich means you are hundreds of steps ahead of everyone else. It's significantly easier to take big risks when your parents own 5 investment properties and can bail you out if things go south. Not only were many of the most successful business owners lucky in timing, they are fortunate to have a financial safety net that allowed them to take risks that others couldn't afford to.
If I had to support my family growing up instead of having the time to learn how to code, if I didn't know that I was going to be fine, if Facebook didn't work out, then I wouldn't be standing up here today.
Just look at Kylie Jenner being crowned the youngest self-made billionaire. It's a bit disingenuous as she was born into one of the most famous families in America. If your only goal in life is to become ridiculously wealthy, then you probably aren't all that smart. Many of the richest self-made people did not set out on becoming billionaires, but luck, skill, a few smart decisions, and having an extremely scalable business caused their net worths to skyrocket. There are also those both brilliant and dumb who are hell-bent on becoming rich at any cost, and sometimes that works out. As much as it's convenient to reduce the rich to be one cohesive group that all think and act the same, it's simply incorrect when considering the diversity of ways to create wealth. Whether it's fair to have that much wealth is a whole other debate. Intelligence does play a role in success, but when it comes to making absurd amounts of money, it's rarely the deciding factor. You can't assume that those richer than you are smarter, just as you can't assume that those poorer than you are dumber. Wealth and intelligence have a correlation, but they're just two pieces of a much larger puzzle. A willingness to take big risks, the ability to scale, the right connections, and sheer dumb luck all play a massive role, often more than intelligence ever will. Life isn't fair. It's a game where the rules can be changed, the board is definitely rigged, and we struggle to find its purpose. But obsessing over IQ points or net worth is pointless, because neither defines true success. Intelligence and wealth are just tools. They mean nothing unless they're used for something greater. It takes true intelligence to realize that wealth isn't just measured in dollars. It can be counted in influence, health, love, or even the freedom to live on your own terms. At the end of the day, the real question isn't how much you have, it's what you do with it that matters.